Hey guys, Gaming to the Maximus here, bringing you some new Ivern content. We're going to have a little Ivern Earth game playing in the background here. But I wanted to do this right. I wanted to do a little bit of research for you guys. And I've got two new rune pages I think you're really going to like. One you've probably heard of, the other one probably not. And yeah, they're just for if you want to switch it up. You know, you're tired of going Air, you're tired of going Guardian. These are going to be for you. They're pretty good, they're pretty new. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So our first page is going to be Glacial. Now you've probably heard of this one before, maybe you've even already played it, but I wanted to go over it again for those people who haven't, because it is actually even better now, if you don't believe me. So we're going to go section by section on the new stuff in there. Obviously there's still some stuff that is going to stay the same, but let's go section by section on what is new. So to start off, obviously we have Glacial. So with Ivern getting ranged auto attacks, it makes it a lot easier to apply the Glacial auto attack. And with that, it makes it a lot easier for your allies to land their CCs. It makes it easier for you to land your CC, to catch up to people, to you know, throw your shield on yourself, slow them again. It makes everything a lot easier. And later on, if you build those Twin Shadows, which we'll get into builds a little bit after the ruins, you're really just a ganking machine, and there's no way they're going to be able to avoid that route. So really good early game gank potential rune. Definitely try it out. It's, you know, pretty easy. It's nothing you're going to have to go in a practice tool for. Just get used to throwing out that initial auto, and boom, you're set. You're slowing people and setting up ganks super easily. Next up, we have Hex Flesh. So this is an interesting little tech that I really enjoy. Basically, you can, if you know how to gank with Ivern, you set up a bush, you know, you kind of hide in it, especially around mid lane. And with Hex Flash, you're really able to just, you know, surprise them with a new type of gank. You burst out of the bush, all of a sudden you're there, and boom, they're dead. You know, what are they going to do about it? You've Hex Flashed out of the bush, you've hit them with that Glacial auto. They're probably rooted, charmed, whatever, you know, slowed by whatever CC your allies have and you have, and they're just dead. I really like it. I personally think it's a super nice ganking tool. That being said, of course, if you're not feeling comfortable with it, if you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm against a Lee Sin and Evelyn, something scary, and you want to bring that Hourglass, go ahead, you know. Stopwatch is definitely a viable pick there. I just prefer a little more spiciness in my Glacial Rune choice. Lastly, we're going to be heading into the Resolve Tree secondary. Obviously, taking Revitalize, it is going to make your shield stronger in general when people are low, and that is super important just for Ivern. I mean, that's the whole champion of shields, right? Done and done. Moving from there, you'll see I had Demolish selected. Reason being is because I think Ivern needs to help his teammates push down their lanes so that way he can have some help getting the other objectives like Herald and Dragon. So pushing down those lanes with Demolish is really good. Basically, you can choose whatever you want. Besides, you know, you need to take Revitalize, but then you can choose whatever you want. I personally think Demolish and Conditioning are two very good choices, but it's really up to you and the game you're in. So let me know how it goes. Let me know how it goes in the comments, what you pick in that secondary tree for the Glacial. Moving on to the build. There's only gonna be one thing you're really adding. It's gonna be Twin Shadows. I recommend getting it first. Reason being is you want to use it to enhance your ganks. So getting it, you know, as a second item, it might be too late. Everyone's already out team fighting, and at that point, you know, it is still good to have it, but it's not the best. It's not the best situation you could. I recommend rushing it. Reason being, you're really trying to enhance your gank potential as Ivern as early on. You're not that strong, we all know that. But with this, your ganks are a lot stronger. You're going in harder. You're providing more CC to your team. All things a jungler needs to do. So with that being said, grabbing Twin Shadows as a first item and then building your core Ivern items is going to be what you want to do. So picking this up, then picking up your Redemption, your Grail, and then your Ardent, you know, in their respective orders. That's really all it's going to be for this Glacial one, so let's move right into the spicier pick, in my opinion. So, starting it off, we've got Hail of Blades here. Yes, that's right, Hail of Blades Ivern. You might be thinking, what the fuck, this is troller shit. No, it actually does work. It's kind of crazy, and I will get into it with each specific new rune here. Obviously, the secondary is going to be the same. It's going to be Det and Cosmic Insight, but let's jump into Hail of Blades first. So, starting this off, we've got Haloplate. Basically what it does is it increases your attack speed by 110% for 3 auto attacks. So, obviously, as Ivern, again, you don't have that much damage. You've got a really limited amount of damage. So, this basically is just a steroid to help you gank and help you do more damage while ganking. So you run in there, again, you run up Land of Root, maybe you're just running in with your shield, you throw 3 quick autos, they're not going to be expecting that from Ivern, and even though you're not an AD champ, you're not like doing on-hit Ivern or anything here, you're still going to provide an extra 3 autos of damage very, very quickly. So with that being said, even if you have around 60 to 70 AD, that's still almost 200 damage, 150 to 200 damage there, so pretty good. And you will see it secure some kills for you. You'll be running in, you'll have Hail Blades up, someone will be really low, maybe you're coming in after, you know, a skirmish in bot lane, you run up to the support, 3 kick autos, boom, they're dead, and you're like, holy shit, I would never have gotten that kill without Hail Blades. I've had it happen to me a few times while playing this build, where I just kill someone, I'm like, I would not have been able to do that with Airy or anything normal. Next up, we got Cheap Shot. This one is actually the GOAT for when it comes to this rune page. Obviously, I take a look at the amount of damage and stuff the runes do after every game because I wanted to make sure, you know, they're actually working, they're actually doing stuff. And just because I didn't include this in the previous section, Hail of Blade auto attacks land about 2 out of 3 times. So every time you get that proc, you're going to be landing 2 out of 3 of all of them. So, again, Hail Blades, you're going to actually be using it quite a bit if you just, you know how to auto-attack with Ivern. But anyways, Cheap Shot is actually the GOAT here. It will do a shitload of damage. In the games I played, they were all about 20 to 30 minutes. Cheap Shot was doing between 600 and 1,000 extra damage. And the one I remember very fondly was I was against an Evelyn jungle. She ended up going 7-7. I don't really remember what I ended up going. But all I know is when I looked at the damage, I had 17k damage. 1, that is an insane amount for Ivern. He never does that much damage. And then 2, she only had 20k. So we almost kept up in damage with an Evelyn who had a death cap, her jungle item, and pen boots. It was crazy. Cheap Shot is really going to add some free damage to your kit. And yeah. But make sure to try this out. You know, you want to learn how to auto attack with Ivern. I'm sure you're not used to it. I know I wasn't. So try that out. So lastly, we've got Zombie Poro here. This thing super underrated and super good on Ivern. If you don't know, Ivern is a support-like champ in the jungle. So what do supports do? They ward. And when your wards expire, Zombie Poro shows up and gains and gives you some extra adaptive force as well as AP or AD based on your champ. So you're warding up the jungle, you're throwing down pinks, you're throwing down yellow trinket wards, boom, you start warded, and they die, Zombie Poro spots some guys out, you're gaining an extra 2 AP or 1.2 AD, but since you're Ivern, it's going to be 2 AP. It's nuts, it makes you get more damage, and as soon as you hit 10 stacks on that, you get an additional 10 AP, so every stack is 2 AP, you get 10 stacks, boom, that's 20, boom, you hit 10 stacks, boom, that's 30 extra AP for just doing your job, which is warding. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for the guide here. Let me know which rune set you like the most. Personally, I know I'm going to be running Glacial a lot more. I think it's super great being able to just walk in and hit him with that Glacial auto attack. And then I also love the spooky ghost coming out and chasing him down. Hail Blades, definitely for a little bit more seasoned Ivern players, you know, don't just pick it up and run it in there. You know, we're not used to auto-attacking on Ivern, let's be real. Anyways, hope to see you guys in the stream. Hope you enjoyed, and have a great week. See you guys later.